is Brian. I'm a ROQ technician doing an install today at Bryan headquarters. We have a little ROQ Fit 4-color going in right now. Our install process is pretty standardized, so what we're doing right now is just laying out all the different components, making sure everything is here and in good condition, and then we're going to start bolting everything on.
Excellent. Can you tell us what these guys over here are, these arms?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are our print arms. What actually holds your squeegee and your flood bar, and then actually does the print stroke. These get mounted up top, and then below that will be the pallet arms. Over here we have the rest of the components. So we have our lifting arms, which are these white guys right here. We have our security bars, and then we have our springs, squeegee flood bars, some crossbars. Our spring steel is still wrapped up right there, and then our pallet arms, our pallets, and our control panel behind that. So for a press this size, with everything in place, so we have our power and our air ready to go, we're looking at about 5 to 6 hours. Well, obviously larger, especially when you have like an Eco where it's larger proportions, heavier pieces, it might take 2 people to lift all the components, get everything calibrated. So that's where you might get into multiple days. Slow and steady, always be careful with some of these components, they're heavy, so you want to make sure you're lifting them properly. Always be mindful of things around you. So, we have lots of equipment moving pieces around us, so we want to make sure everything is being safe, not only for us, but also for the equipment. Always lay out all your components in advance just to make sure everything is there and in good condition like we've done here. That way, if something is missing, we can identify that early on. It's a really fun press to set up. It's a really fun press to use. So if you don't have one yet, definitely look at getting one. Effectively, what happens when it's actually engaged is it will either slide into this slot, and because this is a bearing, it has a straight channel running into the star. And so what happens is as this rotates inside, it pushes or it pulls. So depending on if it's on the back wheel or the front wheel, it'll control which way it's rotating. But effectively just does this. Very, very cool stuff. So this size of press has a single lifting cylinder. And so what happens is all of the heads are mounted below here. Then there's a lifting arm that goes up to the lifting cylinder. And so all the heads on this unit go up and down at the same time. Whereas on some of the more advanced, bigger presses, they'll have individual lifting cylinders, so individual head elevation control. What we're gonna do now is place this in position. Once it's in position, I'm going to mount the control panel. Once I have the control panel mounted, then I'm gonna level everything, make sure everything's nice and flat. And once it's all leveled, then I'm gonna put on one print head. Once I get that print head on, I'm then gonna put on one pallet arm, and then I'm gonna just mount up the rest of the print arms. Once we have everything mounted, it'll only be loosely mounted. From there, it's calibration that comes into play. So we're gonna go through and make sure everything is even and calibrated correctly. So gaps, different tensions and different lengths. And once everything's calibrated, then we'll be ready to rock.